Hăīrē, φίλε, and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 3, taking a look at verse 28, and as I was looking through this, reminding myself in my notes, you may notice that we're back in this place. So it's been actually a while since I've done any recording, but as I was looking through there, I noticed 28 is right there, 29 is right there, 30 is 6 words. So there's not really a good spot to break at a new verse, so I've selected Estin as where we're going to end, so I'm going to put a marker right there as a reminder. That's where we're stopping. Next week we'll handle the rest of this, so this is going to be probably a pretty long video, and next week's is also going to be a pretty long video. Not much I can do about it. So here is our rubric, everything that we're looking for as we go through this text. Let's go ahead and get started. Toi humeis moi martorete, hoti epon, hoti uk eimi ego ho Christos al hoti apostolmenos eimi emprosten ekenu ho ekon tein numphen numphios estin. And that's as far as we're going to make it. That is not a verb, so we don't care. Not a verb, we don't care. Not a verb, we don't care. Marturete. Got epsilon, iota, tau, epsilon right there as our ending. This one is actually going to be pretty interesting. So what we have here is a contract verb. The first principal part is martureo in the expanded form. So we have epsilon omega as our first person singular ending. That would normally collapse into omega with a circumflex over it. So we actually have going on with this one is epsilon, epsilon, tau, epsilon, and these two just combine together into that diphthong. And the accent has to stay there because normally it'd be on that one as the antepenult. Yes, the antepenult position for the accent, because that's where it wants to be on verbs. These two epsilons aren't, well, the last epsilon is not strong enough to pull it over, but when they combine, it still has to stay on this position, and so it changes into a circumflex with the longer sound right there, the longer syllable. So this one is a second person, and it is a plural. Martur, we are on the present stem. It's active, and it is indicative. Ooh, that's not how you spell indicative. Okay, so y'all witnessed. So we take a look back there. We have humeis, epsilon, iota, sigma there. That's from humeis. So this is going to be our nominative, or technically accusative and plural word. It could be that they're witnessing themselves, but that doesn't make much sense, honestly. So that's going to be our subject. We've got emphatic right there. And what is more, we've got autoi right there with that omicron iota, which is also nominative, plural, and masculine. So you got the emphatic form of the personal pronoun. Then we've got autoi, which is going to be working as an intensifier, so self, with our verbs. This is extremely emphatic what John is saying. So you yourselves, very own selves. Yeah, I'm gonna do very own so that it's doubly emphatic in English, just to match how emphatic it is here in the Greek. You, your very own selves. Witness, present tense, probably with a historical idea behind it. Moi, dative singular, no gender because all of them use the same forms for these. To me, but note that it's moi, not emoi. So this is not the emphatic form of me. So we've got all this emphasis right here. That would actually probably detract from it. So yeah, it makes sense why he would do that. Hoti, that. Epon, omega, not omega, omicron nu right there. So this could be a third person plural, or it could be a first person singular. Since they're already in the second person, he is in the first person. Third person doesn't make much sense. So first singular aorist tense, active and indicative. That I said. Got another hoti in here, and these brackets tell us that the editors of the SLL and 28th don't know for certain that it belongs. There's a little bit of uncertainty about it. They're going to stick it in there. So there's a a lot of support for it, either from quotations outside of the text of the Bible that survive or from early texts that we have. So I don't remember whether or not I normally ignore these things. Oops. I'm going to treat it like it is there, but I'll also put it in brackets in English. I said that. Uk eimi. Uk is negative. Eimi is our first person singular. It is the present, active, indicative. Uk makes it negative. Ego makes it emphatic. And actually, there's a little bit more to that. We'll get to that at the end of the video. I am not I myself, because the ego am not ho Christos, omicron sigma there with that omicron article. What am I doing? Nominative, singular, masculine predicate, because of eimi, the particular Christ, comma, al, got a alpha that fell out right there because of that omicron right there, so an instance of elision, but, hoti, that, again, got a lot of hotis, apostolmenos eimi, already parsed that, no need to do it again, I am apostolmenos omicron sigma, we got nominative, singular, epsilon right there as the augmenting vowel instead of the omicron we expect from apo. This prefix tells us that this is going to be past tense. So we have, looks like the aorist stem, on to singular masculine aorist. Men could be, well, it has to be, no. Apostolmenos, apostello, pistalo. I don't remember what the aorist passive form is, but men indicates that it could be normally off of a different stem. It would normally be either the passive or the middle in form. Don't have any notes about this one, so this is the wrong stem. I'd have to say this is probably the middle, but it doesn't make sense for it to be that. Oh gosh. So what is probably going on is, since I can't remember the principal parts of this verb, this probably is the sixth principal part. So I'll have to leave a note up here for you when I find it out, listing out the principal parts, and then you'll know for certain. For the moment, I'm going to treat it what it should be as a passive participle. I am sent. And technically what we could do with this is combine it into a singular thing. I have been sent. So a present perfect idea right there. But I'll just leave that as is for the moment. Emprosten, this is a sort of preposition. You got the locative suffix right there. Pros is a preposition right there. M is an emphatic or a form of n. So it means before. Sometimes it can mean before the face of. Akenu, we've got omicron upsilon right there, which is a genitive singular, and this could be masculine, referring to Christos, so would probably be intended, so I'm going to put an arrow right there. And prosten, once the genitive in its object, before that distant one, period. 29. Actually, let's make sure this all makes sense first. You, your very own selves, witness to me that I said, I am myself not the Christ, but that I am sent, I have been sent before that one, the Christ. Ho ekon, omega nu, off of this present stem tells us that this is going to be a nominative singular masculine, especially with that article right there. And it is the present, as I already said, active participle. So the one having, or another way that we could translate it into English would be as a relative clause. Who has tain, that nu right there with that eta tells us that this is going to be the object. Numphane, eta nu again, so this is accusative, singular, and feminine. The bride, estin, movable nu right there, because it's the end of a clause. Esti is a third person singular. It is present tense, it's active and indicative. Is numphios omicron sigma, especially that iota right there, changes to the masculine form of this word. So this is the bride, this would be the bridegroom. All right, there we go. So then what we're going to have so far of 29 is the one having, or who has the bride, is bridegroom. Note that it's particular bride. We don't have an article for here. That's just interesting that the text does that. Now we want to go back to the beginning, read it in its own context, and then take a look at it from the greater context of 25, and then I'll talk about eimi ego. You, your very own selves, witness to me that I said, I myself am not the Christ, but that I am sent before that one. Who has the bride is bridegroom, whatever the rest of 29 is. Okay, now from 25, beginning of our paragraph. Therefore, an examination happened of the disciples of John with a Jew, concerning purification. And they came to the particular John and said to him, Rabbi, who was with you across the Jordan, to whom you yourself have witnessed? Behold, this one baptizes, and all people are coming to him. John answered and said, Is man not able to take not one thing, unless it is given to him from heaven? You yourselves, your very own selves, witness to me that I said, I myself am not the Christ, but I am sent before that one. Who has the bride is bridegroom. And there we have it. Makes some sense if I could actually remember the context from last time I translated it, which, as I said, was a while ago. Okay, now ego and eimi. Uk is very, very important for what John the Baptist is saying right here. Because the problem with this phrase in Greek is that it is a direct translation. It is used sometimes as a stand-in for the Hebrew tetragrammaton. And that's the name of God. So, said in the wrong circumstances, without that uk, John would be committing blasphemy as the Jews were concerned, and they would stone him to death. So yeah. Anyway, just so you know, that's how this is sometimes used. I've been hoping that we run into an instance of this where Jesus uses it, and then we get to see the reaction of the Pharisees or the scribes later on. I don't remember where it actually happens in John, but I think it's probably a long way away. But that uk is very important, especially with Ho Christos, because John here is not doing that. He's not saying Yahweh, or however the name is pronounced. But there we have it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you have a very good whatever part of summer this is. Farewell.
Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other videos that are equally sleep-inducing. Check them out. Alternatively, you could take a look at this video over here.